Hi guys, I hope everyone is well today. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Rachel Marie. I'm a self-taught multimedia artist sharing my artist journey. I think my cat wants to be part of this. Hey baby. Alright guys, so today I thought we would just chat while I show you some process on my latest piece that I have been working on. I thought I would just fill you guys in on what's been going on in my life, and we can talk about something that's been on my mind a lot lately because I have been doing a lot of it, which is making bad art. So quick update, since my last video, I have uploaded 2 new items to my shop, and I'll link both of those in the video description below. One of them is this Jaguar marker illustration that I showed you guys the process for in my last video, and then the other one is this D&D themed illustration I did in Procreate here recently. You can actually also see it on the wall behind me. I am trying to put up more of my own art in my studio so you guys can actually see that. But for those of you who don't know, I am a pretty big D&D nerd. I've been playing for like 10 years almost now, and actually a lot of my really good friends I met either through D&D or became really close with through D&D. We haven't been playing a whole ton lately, and our DM actually just moved to Arizona, but we did get to go see the new Dungeons & Dragons movie for his going away party, and I have to say we really liked it. It was a lot of fun, but after watching it, I was really inspired to make some Dungeons & Dragons art, so here it is. Right now, right now, all of my prints are just online through Fine Art America, which I like. It's just a print-on-demand shop. I like it because it does give a lot of different options for products. However, there are a few things... Sorry, my cat is... There are a few things I don't love about it, so eventually I would like to start up my Etsy. That's a big goal for this year. Unfortunately, right now I just don't have a lot of the funding for the upfront costs for making or purchasing prints and products. So in the meantime, check out my Fine Art America. So like I said, something I wanted to talk about today is making bad art, and that is because, let me tell you, I have been doing a lot of that lately. I did try to make like a watercolor illustration that I'll show you guys here. And watercolor is just like, for one thing, not a thing I've ever been good at. It's just like a medium that does not come very naturally to me, and I need to take the time to like actually learn how to do it properly. So that was part of it. But I just was so frustrated with the whole process. It did not come out how I wanted it to. I did not end up enjoying making it. It was just really frustrating. And then I have really been trying to get back into sketching every day, like making it a daily habit, because I do believe that sketching every day is a really great way to improve your art, and obviously I feel like I have a lot to improve on, but I have been feeling like even my sketching has not been going great. Like, I would love to eventually get to a point where I can show you guys like a sketchbook tour. I love seeing other artists' sketchbook tours. Unfortunately, a lot of my sketches are just, they're bad. They're real bad, you guys. I think a lot of it is just, well, I think that happens for one thing when you're a self-taught artist, but a lot of it is just trying to piece together how different forms fit together and just studying different animals. But this last week, I have been feeling like it especially has not been going well. I just have not really been happy with a lot of things I've been drawing. And then on top of that, this project that I'm about to show you guys, let me show you the sketch for it. So I did do this sketch, and I was like pretty happy, honestly, with how this turned out. And then I put it on my light box, traced it, that was fine, and then I started inking over it, and that just went horribly. It went so wrong. So I got really frustrated, I threw it out, I was like, I'm gonna start over again. And it went a lot better the second time, and that's what I'm going to show you guys today. But I want to talk about why I think we go through these phases of making bad art, and why I think it's actually not a bad thing. In fact, I think it's a really important part of our art journey. So with that, if you want to grab a drink, I have my little homemade macchiato here, or your sketchbook to draw along. I'm going to show you guys this process, and we can chat. So the main reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I feel like making bad art or going through these phases where we're not really happy with the art that we are making is something that most, if not all, artists go through. However, it's not something that I see talked about very often, and I think especially in the day of social media, it can be really discouraging when you're seeing all these other artists post work online and you might feel like they don't go through those same struggles or everything they post is good. But it's really important to remember that with artists and with most social media, what you're seeing is the highlight reels. Most people are only going to post what they feel like is their best work. So you're not seeing all those things they created that they might not be happy with, or all the bad art that they may have made. So why is making bad art important? Well, for one thing, a lot of times you have to do something poorly a lot of times before you do it well. Anyone who's played a sport or learned a new skill knows that when you're learning something new, you very rarely are going to do it right the first time. But like I talked about earlier, the only way to improve is to keep practicing. We can also learn from our mistakes. When we make bad art, a good way to learn from it is to try and reflect on what did and didn't work and then apply those things moving forward. And if you're someone like me who has been drawing for a long time, you might feel like that in particular doesn't apply to you because you're not new to it. So why does this happen? I think this is because growth is not linear. I think a lot of people think that growth is a straight line from point A to point B where you're improving at a consistent rate until you're a master. But unfortunately, I don't think that's really true. Growth tends to have a lot of ups and downs, but it will have an overall upwards trajectory. You might do something right once and then do it wrong again 5 more times before you do it right again. But overall, eventually you'll end up doing it right more often and you'll improve. I used to play roller derby, and back when I did, I had a coach that would say, fall down 3 times, get up 4. And I know at first that sounds like nonsense, but I think this is the exact sort of thing she was talking about. What I believe she meant was that every time you get knocked down and back up, it makes you stronger, and eventually you'll have more metaphorical ups than downs. And I think the same is true anytime we're learning something. Another reason that making art that you feel might be bad is a sign of growth is because it might not necessarily mean that your drawing is actually getting worse, but instead that you've learned more, so you are now able to see more mistakes than you previously would have. For example, I recently found a piece of art I did around 5 years ago that I was really proud of at the time, and it looks completely different to me now. In fact, I think it looks really terrible. And the art hasn't changed, but my knowledge has. So when we're learning something, we'll go through phases where our skill has to kind of catch up to how our brain has developed and how our knowledge has increased. But that's how we know we're improving. And then, of course, sometimes we really just make bad art because we might be having an off day. Maybe you have other things going on in your life, you didn't sleep enough or eat enough, or who knows. So it's really important, I think, to be kind to ourselves when this happens, and remember that we are humans, and humans were not meant to be perfect all the time. I think it can be really difficult with art because we feel like it is such an expression of who we are and so representational of who we are that we care so much about it being good. But truthfully, we are just not all perfect all the time. I know it is really frustrating though, so if you're wondering what I do to get through these phases where I feel like I'm making bad art, honestly, the truthful answer is I keep making bad art. Again, practice leads to improvement, and sometimes we just have to keep going. But I also do make sure to take breaks, especially if I'm getting really frustrated, take some time to reset, do some other activities I enjoy, like I like to move my body and spend time outside, so I might go for a walk or go to the gym and kind of just let myself reset and then get back to it. I think the important thing to remember in these sorts of situations is to rest and not quit. So here is my second attempt at inking this illustration. I definitely was a lot happier with how it went this time. Another thing that really helped me was just remembering to slow down and be patient and take my time. Sometimes we really have to work on doing that too. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, or you found this relatable, or you have any other advice on how to get through making bad art, I would love to hear about it in the comments. And here's the final product. I hope you like it, and I'm gonna get to coloring it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and you can also find me over on Instagram at rachel.marie.art. See you next time!